Hotel brothers and sisters, Black Power, as always, giving on to the Creator, giving on to the ancestors. Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul of the Street Law Soldiers. My father, my in-laws, my sister, my subscribers, my supporters, my viewers, my donors, family members, and all of those who are fighting for our liberation and salvation of our black nation. I know you haven't heard from me. You know, I had to take an emergency hiatus, but a brief one. You know, when I go on a long one, you will know about it. And sometimes we all need to just fall back for a minute. But nevertheless, to my special subscribers, which I have about 25 or 30 of you that I have been in contact with by way of phone, that you all know who you are. I don't have to mention you by name. That mean a lot to me. But nevertheless, I want to discuss a few things. First of all, the incident that took place here in D.C. with these Koreans. Brother and sister ordered some takeout from the Korean Chinese carryout. And upon picking up, apparently they had more than one order sitting there waiting for people to pick them up. So the way that they separated orders was by color. And so on the receipt that the brother and sister picked up, it had nigger on the bag. Now, they talked to the owner, this goop, who gave a fake ass apology. I'm gonna get down to the bottom of this. I don't know why whoever done it. When you know who done it and how this is a clear prime example of how they treat the black community. Like straight shit, and we still go in there and patronize these motherfuckers, call them mama son, hey mom, hey papa son, and you know, some of you be all intoxicated and shit, thinking that shit slick, like they gonna look out for you, like it's important for them to really like you or know your motherfucking ass. You know, fuck them. And this is where the boycott should come in. But niggas still going there today. They went right back in there and ordered shit, you know, and justified these motherfuckers' actions. It was told to me that motherfuckers went back in there and said, oh, don't worry about it. I don't believe it. I know all y'all ain't like that. Some old slave talking motherfucker. And I told you all we need to boycott when they had those goddamn fish sitting in condoms hanging out back in the alley and try to make up a lie talking about some goddamn Chinese New Year. You know, where the rats were climbing the fence, chewing all on the goddamn rubbers. And see, we keep making justifications for this bullshit. The same way as the trick that they gonna pull on the black community when it's time to go to the polls. When it's time to go to the polls, the same trick is gonna be used. Because see, let me explain this to you all. For those of you who are slow. Trump was selected before Obama. See, presidents are selected 8 to 12 years ahead of time. And they knew that the black community was going to be so outraged because they wanted Donald Trump to be one of the most outspoken racist presidents since Woodrow Wilson. And so what they did was set it up where people will be so fed up with Trump that they will vote for anybody to get him out of office. And so this is where the trick comes in at. And so the three cards that they pull off the deck this trip, Sanders, Biden, Clinton, And so they'll use these old Negroes, Roland Martin, Al Sharpton, Common. They always use a black rapper, Diddy, Common, that vote or die bullshit when we already are dead. You know, and they would use one of these niggas, particularly Roland Martin, Porky Pig, the Porky Pig Boule. They use him to endorse one of three devils who have the same exact agendas and policies that Trump has, but will kill you silently. See, they're hollering this, and we're gonna let the illegal immigrants over and all this bullshit, because they would rather do that. Keep the illegals hopping the fence. That way, the black community will still be jobless. Number one. Number two, the crime bill will go in effect even harder than it's ever been in history, because Joe Biden is the architect of mass incarceration, and along with Hillary Clinton, which both said that the black youth is the super predators and they need to be laid down. So that hasn't changed. Only thing you have done, when the response became worldwide known, you think that a public apology will just, squash it. When you goddamn devils are not, you goddamn devils are compassionateless. You don't have any compassion for people. The only language that you understand is war and bloodshed. And by the black community continuing to march and sing gospel hymns, continue eating fucking Popeye's chicken, jumping up and down, hollering hallelujah, and still in slavery, because they gave a few of the niggas some crumbs, that we've come a long way. That's why I read that portion of what Marcus Garvey said to W.B. Du Bois. Now, which one of the two are celebrated the most? W.B. Du Bois, because he was more of a coon. Garvey was a revolutionary, a radical, that believed in separation from the slave master. Let's get off of the plantation. And so W.B. Du Bois said, no, the plantation is not that bad. If we can have some of the rights that the slave master has, then we'll be content with staying on the plantation. And this is how they conduct shit today. Y'all, excuse me, a little warm. It's 100 degrees here in DC. So, nevertheless, I had to put this video out for my people. But this is what is happening today. This is the exact thing. Same soup, different kitchen. Same soup, different kitchen. And so, the way that they are taking us out, because I've had 4 or 5 brothers and sisters that have transitioned within the last 7 days, behind the fact of one of the genocides that they're using against us in the category of biological warfare, and that's just medical genocide. Cancer being the main killer in the black community now, wiping us out. And it's really, they have these drugs set up, these vaccines and all of these flu shots and shit that are set up that will lay dormant in the body for 10 to 20 years before it activates a cancerous formula that begins to deteriorate the organs, specifically the liver and the kidneys. And in turn, that causes severe dehydration and the shrinkage of the intestines, stomach primarily. So when people pass from cancer, it's really not cancer. They really dying of starvation. Because when have you seen a cancer patient that has transitioned in the black community that was cut up, that was bulky and had muscles? Because it's starvation along with pneumonia. And with proper healed, with proper herbal approach, you know, hope is possible. And that's part of the biological chemical warfare that we're dealing with. And the insurance companies who choose who receives top of the line insurance, Blue Cross Blue Shield, which is primarily a white dominated insurance company. Blacks usually have the bootleg insurance, or at best they may be able to go to Kaiser and places like that if they're government employees or have a history of working and have a certain amount of paper coming in on their jobs. And so the rest, because they sit there and dangle and tease our people with the medications that can cure certain ailments. And then when you call to see whether you qualify for these medications, you don't. And they cost an arm and a leg per prescription. Some are high as $35,000. So you have to pay to live if you encounter any type of grave illnesses in the black community. And then you got niggas talking about everything is okay. Watch those particular niggas that say that, because they are on the payroll of the cracker. So that, yes, they're going to say everything is okay, because the masses of black people are at the bottom of the barrel. And we are, and you niggas, and I'm talking about niggas that got a little something that can make a difference in the black community. You have become so selfish, egotistical, and beginning to drop the ball in terms of your race, in terms of your culture, your integrity, your morals, and what you're supposed to stand on that's in your DNA. And in street terms, you turned into a cold, bitch-ass, slave-ass nigga. Education, destroying the children. Educational genocide. telling our babies, our little boys, making it mandatory that they read Princess Boy about a little black boy that wants to be a fucking girl and that it's okay, and his mother dresses him up as a motherfucking girl, and everybody in school is supposed to respect him. That type of shit. My two dads, my two mommies, mommy and mommy. You know, sick shit like that. You see two ice apes with a black child going down the street. What do you think they're teaching, and what do you think they're doing to him? When the white man when the boy gets a certain age, the white man is going to come at him with the bill, like being at a restaurant, you ask for the check, the bill. He's going to come with the bill, and the bill is going to be his asshole. And the white man is going to be waiting for this young black boy to split his goddamn backside wide the fuck open, as a way of showing his appreciation for taking him out of a group home or one of those youth facilities and placing him in a halfway decent environment, which the environment is only halfway decent based on the items that's in the home, not the personalities and the behaviors. Because these crackers are waiting. That's why you see them two fucking white fags with a black boy or two black boys sitting on their shoulders, walking, going down and through the park. And so, you know, this shit has to stop, brothers and sisters. I've been trying to be patient as I possibly can with the things that are taking place in our community. But it comes to a point where, you know, a lot of you niggas don't listen. Still thinking that books, you know, I hear niggas talking about we can, you know, outthink him. All we do is need books. All we do is bring up the laws. None of that shit don't work. You can bring the white man's law that he's written in his face, and it still won't do anything because there's no power behind it. And when I say power behind it, you be the Lone Ranger with that paperwork. 3 people can't do anything. Not on that level. And so, me personally, I would love to step to the cracker on that level. But most black men, when it comes to that area, most black men, especially in DC, they are afraid. The ones who are not afraid are getting high. And the ones who are not afraid and are not getting high are in jail. So you have the far and few in between. And a lot of us don't actually believe, and this is the core reason why, one of the reasons why the black community doesn't fight this cracker back, because they actually don't believe that this white man is as ruthless and savagery that he is, that he will kill babies, men, women, and children by way of FEMA, the CDC, the military, the police department. And a lot of you niggas don't believe that, because you stuck on that white supremacy shit. You are under the hypnosis of racism, white supremacy. And then a lot of you will go to scriptures to justify your fucking fear. Oh, we supposed to love everybody. We don't know what color Jesus is and all this. What difference do it make in all this bullshit? Makes a hell of a difference. You think that I'm gonna worship, or I will worship the motherfucker that look like the slave master? It's no way. It's no motherfucking way. It's no way if Muhammad was white, I would be bowing down praising him. It would be no way if Jesus, Buddha, Confucius, etc., if they were non-black. No, because I wouldn't believe it, first of all, because I've never met a straight spiritual white motherfucker Ice Age. Joel Osteen is not spiritual. It's a hustle this is a grammar hustle for him. He's just a good orator and a good writer when it comes to reading and writing and twisting hymns around to fit his agenda. Joyce Meyer's the same way. This bitch look like the Joker on Batman. Her policies are the same way. And why would you take time to listen to them motherfucking devils when you got 1,000 ministers and preachers that look like you and I that are out here pumping the word, pumping it? But once again, we into more personality than principles. And I want to touch on this briefly, this situation, which is so heart-wrenching. And it's about Mabel King. A lot of you don't know, may not know who Mabel King is. She was the mother that played on the show What's Happening with Raj, Rerun, Dwayne, and Shirley. And Martin Lawrence came in on the second show, What's Happening Now. Nevertheless, when Mabel King was taken off of the show, she suffered with diabetes and some other ailments, which she ended up losing both of her legs and one arm, and received no help from Black Hollywood. In other words, these entertainers, Denzel, Halle Berry, and all of these other motherfucking whores and bitch niggas could have taken care of her medical bills. Yet they let that woman sit there and have both of her legs amputated and one arm. She also played the Wicked Witch in the Broadway play, The Wiz. And she played on a variety of different shows. A ton of different shows. And if she had support from the black community, the black entertainment community, she probably would have still been alive today. She would have never had both legs and her arm amputated when it started off with a couple of toes at first. Shirley Hemphill, who played Shirley on What's Happening, diabetes took her out of here. Her body had decomposed in her home by the gardener, the groundskeeper in on that complex. Did not see Shirley for a couple of days and peeked through Shirley's window, her bedroom window. And there she was on the floor, body in decomposition mode. Fred Berry, who played Rerun, he also played on Good Times, and so he was a Soul Train dancer. the same with him. You know, these brothers and sisters that gave their life to the craft of acting, and then when they transition, they have nothing. See, when they are stars on television, they have agents on the set, their agents are on the set, everyone. But when they lose the position on the show and they're at home, everybody leaves one at a time. And so I'm going to touch back on that at a later time. But I hope you got something out of the video. I'd like to welcome you all back to the Street Law Soldiers Shaka Sankofa show. And as always, imparting Hotep Black Power.